So how do you come up with creative names for your YouTube channel, for your website, things like that? We're going to talk about it in this video.
Welcome to Video Influencers. I am Benji.
Sean.
We are here to teach you about video, how to utilize video, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Meerkat now, so follow our Meerkat. And today we're going to be talking about how to deal with the challenge of finding a name for your YouTube channel. Now, this is just a challenge for really any platform, so it's not just isolated to YouTube. But today specifically, we're going to be talking about your YouTube channel. What would be the first thing you'd suggest when it comes to your YouTube channel name?
Well, the first thing I think about, Benji, is that you want to think about all of your platforms, because and this would apply to anything. So if you're looking for a website name or your YouTube channel name, I would start thinking, okay, I have an idea, but now I need to check to see if it's available on social media. Maybe, you know, the main platforms that I want to use. And so the first thing that I would say is to start with a focus. Like, what's the focus of your channel going to be? Now, here's a really easy one: your name.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
If you're not John Smith, that's taken. You could have SeanCannell.com. Nobody else was competing for that. And you could ask yourself, is your channel just going to be your name? But if it's not going to be your name, you think about what is your focus. And so you could think about, if it's going to be a cooking channel, what would you do if you're going to start off trying to create a new YouTube channel in the cooking space?
Yeah, I mean, it just all depends on where you want to bring your content. You know, do you want to be specific niche, like, you know, Super Bowl food recipes, or do you want to be kind of more generic? You just want to do whatever recipe you think of, right? So those are things I consider when coming up with my names for, you know, YouTube channels.
Yeah, and let's think even cooking. I think the more focused you are, the better, because it'll make you limited, but it's also good. So if you had a cooking channel, you could do, if you called it Asian cooking with somebody, or you just said Asian cooking, then that's going to be very focused but still specific, and people are going to know if they want to buy into that. Cooking in general might be a little too broad at times.
Totally. And it's probably taken. You know?
So having a focus is huge. So then the second thing that you want to do is you want to look to see if that name is available. And so I like to go to like GoDaddy.com and not only check your YouTube name to see if it's available on YouTube, but check on the social platforms to see if it's available. And one way to test that is to literally just type in youtube.com/ what you want to call your channel. But then also do that on Twitter, and then even go to the URL and start looking for your name as well.
You know, and it's definitely worth the effort to find a good name for your channel, for your brand, because big companies literally spend tens of thousands of dollars trying to get the website name that they want to get for whatever company. You know, like I think it's probably a well-known story about the Apple.com. Somebody owned Apple.com, and whoever that was made a lot of money, right? So people do want their name. So it's, you know, you as a beginning YouTube channel, you definitely want to consider that, because if you have any ambitions of growing big, you know, growing your channel to a level like maybe you could be making a living from it, you do want to consider all the different platforms. Now, I will say too that you know, you don't have to have the exact name for every platform.
True.
I'd say like 50% of the people I know that actually do YouTube for a living, full-time online career, have every single name on every single platform be the exact same. So it's not as important, but like when it comes to coming up with your YouTube channel name, it's definitely things to consider for sure.
And you know what's interesting is Video Influencers is brand new. It started really in 2014, but it's 2015, so it's like, man, everything's taken, you know. So we got Video Influencers online. We actually didn't get .com, so we went with videoinfluencers.net. There's not enough characters on Twitter, so we went with Video Influencer, but we did have the YouTube channel, which was the base, because that's our home base for videos and content. And so there's kind of a mix there. We got Instagram, Video Influencers, and so we looked around, and then eventually, so that's kind of a good tip, eventually you just got to go for it. Like, if you can't get all the same names, that's okay. But if you start from your brainstorming session, then that's a good way to go. And then, so the next couple tips I had is actually to do a brainstorming session with the thesaurus. Maybe you wanted to call it, electric cooking, just to give it an adjective with what the channel is going to be. So maybe you want to call it that, But then if you use a thesaurus, you could maybe change electric to exciting, you know, exciting cooking or tasty cooking.
Shocking.
And just change. And so combos are key with names. So if you're trying to think of like a makeup channel or a business channel, you could call it like RockinRealEstate. Or then you could just switch out rocking. Real estate is going to help people know what the focus is. What the channel is going to be about if it's about real estate. But then if you start adding combos with a thesaurus, you could come up with a lot of descriptors to help that channel out.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. One of the things I would definitely suggest is don't get too caught up in your name, right? Like, it's probably better to just start creating content because you can always kind of find your niche or find your name as you go. But also YouTube, don't they actually allow you to change your name? Like, because there's a lot of people that have their like high school name as their YouTube channel. They gained a following, but they kind of want to change up their branding, their image. So they've been able to change what the public sees their channel as. Isn't that true? That you can do that?
That is true. Yeah, and so on the right side of your channel, you can change your name. And the cool thing is you can start your YouTube channel and be publishing videos before you set in the solid URL.
Yeah.
And you can even change that solid URL. I've seen it happen before. But one thing that I would suggest is that because I've done this with a few brands right now, started a brand a couple years ago called Think International. And what I eventually learned about it though is like that doesn't mean anything to anybody. Whereas if you did call it Rocking Real Estate, what's that channel about?
Real estate.
Real estate. It's really obvious. So I think that people get afraid of being specific because they want to be so free and broad, but it can be like really helpful for people if they jump in. So you could call it, I mean, some people want to do lifestyle channels, so they want to do like makeup, beauty, hair, and all that stuff. But if people want, they're going to subscribe more if they know specifically what you're doing. Like if Austin starts a channel on After Effects and it's After Effects with Austin, it's kind of a cool name.
Yeah.
He could have a tutorial channel and that's exactly what it is. And people who want to learn about After Effects, it's so specific, you could really build an audience around that. And then last couple creative tools, and we'll do this, we'll put a bunch of tools in the description, links, things like that in the YouTube description. But there's a couple places. One's called Bust a Name, one's called Name Mesh, and there's a whole list of them. And they're really cool. What you can do is you can enter 2 different terms, and it does a couple things. It tells you what they're available on, but then it also starts mixing it up and giving you other combos and other adjectives. And there's a whole bunch of sites like that. So you're going to want to check out, if you're looking to brand your thing, rebrand your thing, launch something new, check out the YouTube description for some extra stuff.
I never knew about those places. I'll definitely go there. At the end of the day, my suggestion is your content is going to build your brand. Your content is going to make the name popular. Apple.com. Who would ever think computers with Apple? But obviously they build such great computers that the Apple name is synonymous for computers. Great computers, by the way. He's a PC guy. I'm an Apple guy.
That's actually true.
Yeah. But that is something you need to remember when you're coming up with your name, because at the end of the day, it's what you put out in your video that's going to make the name, okay? So don't worry too much about it. I'd err on the side of just pick something, right? And start making videos.
Yep. Hey, so thanks so much for checking out this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
Comment with your questions about video, ideas of people you'd like to see us interview. And hit the like button so we can keep making more videos. And connect with us on that. And then we also put together a free report to help people specifically go through like a checklist of stuff every time they upload a video. So that's all available at videoinfluencers.net.
You can follow me on Benjamin TV on most of my social stuff except Benjamin Food on Instagram.
Yes. And you can connect with me at Sean Cannell at all the platforms. Man, appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
We want you to keep crushing it with YouTube and online video. Later. Austin's ready. Meerkat's ready. Can you retweet this? Hit the like button. Leave us some comments and some questions. We'll talk soon. About to hit video number 2.
It was a suggestion actually from our camera guy, Austin, huh?
Yeah. So if you've ever, if Meerkat's ever wondered, if the vlog's ever wondered where to get royalty-free music or music for your YouTube videos for free and stuff like that, we're about to talk about it right now. And so you'll see that on our Video Influencers channel soon, which of course is in the YouTube description here, which is available, Meerkatters, you can check that out as well. Videoinfluencers.net. Talk soon.